Hey, it's Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's going to be perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release. The only place on Twitch where you can find someone playing video games of this vintage. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to 1980. If you're just now joining us, we're playing all the releases in 1980 in alphabetical order. We last left off with Stone Sling for the Philips Video Pack. A very cool artillery-style game. And we're going to continue with our next game after Stone Sling. The next release is Supernova for the Radio Shack TRS-80, which is a little redundant. I mean, Radio Shack's already in there. TRS is Tandy Radio Shack, but whatever. TRS-80, this is Supernova. Let's take a look at the artwork for Supernova. Oh yes, another one by Big Five. Everyone we've seen so far has been an arcade shooter action game for the TRS-80. Excellently programmed. Looks like this is Mission Destroy Asteroids. Maybe an Asteroids clone. And as usual on our TRS, we're playing on a cassette tape. Looks like Nova is the way to boot this sucker up. And this looks like it's for the Model 2. I think we're playing on Model 2 or 1. One of those TRS-80. There's Model 1, 2, 3, and then like we've seen in the home computer space, so many models of the computer. So fingers crossed if it runs. There's the example of the screenshot. Yes, it's got to be a home computer on the TRS-80 version of Asteroids. All right, let's pop it in and play. Here we go. This is Supernova, released by Big Five Software for your TRS-80 at some point in 1980. And as usual, to boot this up, we're going to take a look at what's on the disc. Is it? Yes, it is Nova. Go, go, go. Does it run? Oh, nice. We got a cool intro screen flying through hyperspace. There we go. Supernova, Big Five Software. Looks like we can do instructions or clear to start the game. We're going to go and do instructions to know what we're playing. There you go. 1980 by Bill Hogue. And there's our points for everything we get. Shooting the meteors. Yes, got to be asteroids that we can play. It looks like we use R to rotate left, T to rotate right, 0 for thrust, and P for fire, or O for thrust, P for fire. So whenever we play these computer games and they give us the instructions, where every one of these is different, you know, they have different computer-controlled instructions, that you put your fingers on the keyboard and you have your hands down, and then you almost try to pretend you're playing in the arcade, resting your hand on that, because it's always going to be something different. There's no standard right now. Oh, it just went into a track mode. I didn't even push any buttons, so it's playing by itself. All right, let's try that again. And clear should be there. There we go. Number of players. I'm here solo tonight, so we're doing one player. And so to move, yes, I can twist. Yes, it is O and P to shoot. Oh, this is fantastic. The fact that someone programmed this, when you get blown up by the asteroid, we got this crazy flash on the screen. But I can't believe this is programmed. This is, what is this? JLK. For the TRS-80, this is extremely impressive. Man, Big Five was pushing the TRS-80 graphically. And don't adjust your speakers. There is no sound coming from the game. Usually we hear something from the TRS-80, but no, we got nothing. No sound coming from this game. We have seen other ones, though, and they were very, very loud using internal speaker, because there wasn't really a sound chip on the TRS-80. No, there. Oh, UFO got it. Game over, player 1. Oh, nice. You get to put your initials in? I don't think we saw this on the other arcade games by Big Five. Your score is one of the top 10 highest scores of today. Enter your initials. For Chrono. All right, let's go again. One player game. Got to put my hand in the right spot, which feels a little interesting on the keyboard, but it's pretty cool how well this plays. Even has a little bit of physics. I don't know if you can see how my ship drifts just a little bit on the side, which is kind of cool. And they have Easter eggs, not Easter eggs, but there's very strange billboard designs instead of just asteroids. I mean, if I took the time to program this and it was a killer game, I mean, why not just make it fun? Yeah, it looks like they're advertising something JLK on the side. Not sure what that one is. Yeah, play control is fantastic for this. Considering it's a it's a game that is programmed for a system that was only supposed to have text. It's awesome. Now that UFO, okay, there we go, got it. Also notice the number of pixels on the screen. As I'm turning the ship, I don't have that much range. It's only, yeah, 8 directions. So it's not as smooth and finite as the arcade, obviously, but still, that's kind of picky considering it's playing on the TRS-80. It's amazing. Yeah, I don't know what all the signs mean or what we saw at JFK. If anyone does know in the comments or below, I'd love to know. BH must be Bill Hogue, is my guess, the developer. But JFK, I don't know what that one would be. Yeah, that's got to be, BH has got to be for Bill Hogue, the developer. That's awesome. Love it. Okay, that is a blast. For what we've seen for the time, that's amazing. So let's go ahead and give that one a very good rating. It's above average, especially for that, for what you could play on the TRS-80 and the home computer space. That is asteroids that you could play on the computer, and I'm trying to think of other games we've seen on the home computer that could match that. Everything that's tried, I think that we've only had 2 other releases trying to be asteroids on the home computer. Didn't do it as successful as this. In fact, if I think of all the other action games we played, the rest have been Space Invaders, fixed shooters, or Galaxian like games. But this one, we had a ship we were able to move around the screen. So I'm willing to go even higher than that, like 4.5. I don't know if I can go 5, but it's up there. This is an excellent release for the home computer space. So for Supernova, we're going to go up. Let's go 4.5 stars. This is amazing that this exists. So 4.5 stars, great showing for the evening so far. After Supernova, what is our next game? All right, here we go. This is Targ, released in the arcade. And there we go, we finally got some audio. It's been so quiet, video game-wise. All right, so after that, let's check out the artwork for Targ. There is our advertisement flyer. Targ, is it an acronym? Bring justice into the Crystal City. Seek out Targ. Oh, it's by Exity. Nice. In the Crystal City, the heroic Wummel seeks justice against the evil Spectre smugglers who are guarded by the Targram ships. And they're doing the scroll like Star Wars. Keep in mind, Exity has already done a total ripoff called Starfire in the arcade of Star Wars. They've already ripped off Star Wars, and now they're doing the crawl like the Star Wars text crawl. Amazing. Exity has balls. So there's the arcade cabinet for Targ. What is Targ? There's our control panel. We have 4-way joystick and fire. So we can do 4 different directions. There we go. And there's our arcade marquee for Targ. Targ. And just a screenshot for us. All right, let's take a look at the manual for Targ. There it is. This is the technical manual by Exity. Do we have anything about what Targ is? We got a little description in the advertisement flyer, but that's about it. Okay, so introduction. Targ. No, that is just technical. That has nothing to do about the game. White noise, sound generator. Wow, yeah, it's going through only the technical specifications of it, not the game itself. It does say what kind of processor it is. 6502 for all the processor fans out there. Yeah, we have nothing that is going into what the game is. So no help there, but for other versions, we have a cocktail version possibly, and then the release we're going to play. So here we go. This is Targ, released by Exity in the arcade at some point in 1980. Awesome. We got all the artwork. So if you see over here, right above my shoulder, it's what you'd see is the explanation. It says, in the Crystal City, the heroic Wummel seeks justice against the evil Spectre smugglers who are guarded by the Targ ram ships. A Wummel always slows down before reversing direction. So we have a joystick, we can go fast and slow, and then we have a fire button to shoot. But really cool artwork. Well done, Exity. And then we even have the marquee at the top of the screen there. So I'll play a little bit from this view and then zoom in as we go further. So let's put a coin in and push and start. Get ready, player 1. Let's play some Targ. So there I am. I am a green ship, and we've seen this. So on the show, we've seen a few, I'm going to say 2 different ones at home that you could play that had this, Alleys and Arrows was one on the XD Sorcerer. And it's interesting. We played Arrows and Alleys on the XD Sorcerer, which is the home computer, and this is the arcade game by XD. So most likely the arcade came out first is my guess, but we on the channel, we played the XD Sorcerer version first. Just because I think we were going in alphabetical order. But here we go. This is it. Yeah, this is Targ. And who knew it was a home way to play Targ? But there was another one, too, that was having the same formula. Not called Arrows and Alleys. It was something else. I don't know if you can hear the background noise. It sounds like we're breaking in or hacking into a computer. But you can see we have a smart ship that comes from the end. It was the one that was blue. And then we have these red ships that we're flying around to kill. Is that it? Oh, that was it. Yeah, we in 3 lives we already ran out. But you're supposed to destroy all the red enemies. It's got a full grid pattern, so you have lots of different movement. It's still kind of going off the top-down maze view that we saw in Pac-Man and Head On. But let's put another coin in and push and start. I was expecting more explosions. Yeah, we have some background sound, but as far as when my missile shoots, there's really nothing that's coming from that one. But very difficult to play because you got to think ahead, and you have a way to move slow and fast. And I only have 1 shot I can do at a time. Oh, nice! I got the big ship. I can't believe it. And see, we just dodged that one, and I don't know what kind of artificial... Yeah, there's no way to turn around. I have to... I can't turn around directly like I could in Rally X. Oh, here we go. Yep, so we're down to 1. Let me see if I can make a smart move on this one. No, it doesn't look like... Oh, yeah, so it's a different play style because it's constantly moving. Almost like Head On. It's going to continue to move around, and you can't stop. You can just go fast or slow for controls. And we do have the blue ship, which was the Wummel. I don't remember what it was. Oh, there you go. I mean, if you destroy all the red ones, then you move on to the next stage. And it gets progressively more and more difficult. But at this point, I feel like I'm beating a dead horse saying, you have to get a high score, and you need to keep playing because it gets progressively difficult. Because that's pretty much every game we played at the time. No complaints. That's the way it should be in 1980. And I think that is, yes, end of game. Not game over, end of game. All right, let's do 1 more shot at Targ, putting a coin in and push and start. So I didn't know if you were here for the other episode, L. Curtis B. Whenever we played the XD Sorcerer, the home computer, we played Arrows and Alleys. And it was pretty much Targ before we played this one. And I do not know for sure which one was released first, on the computer or in the arcade. I'm going to say arcade, because at this point the arcade was driving a lot of the video games as the first release. And then we played also another one that had a very... Oh, I can't believe that. A very similar style to this. The same top-down view, grid, and... I don't remember the name off the top of my head. But we've seen one other release that's like this, and I'm going to give it to Targ. It's the one that, if we could get a definitive release date, this would be the one to it would be based off. Yeah, Clone. Yeah, XD. Yeah, this is the one by XD. It's right here on my shoulder. All right, so pretty cool. That is Targ. Excellent game. All right, so for the time, considering every other game we played, that's up there with how well it plays. Graphics, not really so much. We go by play control, fun, of course, and music. Not really big on music either, but that's definitely a very good game. Not something that's pushing the video game industry or something that is the best thing we've ever seen. So we're going to go for 4 stars on Targ. That is a very good game for the arcade. All right, so after Targ, our next game is Tarturian for the Apple II. Looks like another text adventure game, possibly. Let's take a look at the artwork for Tarturian. Tarturian requires 48K RAM. And it's up by Applesoft. And you can see down here in the bottom left corner, 25 bucks, which is the used. We've seen a few other Apple II games that go for 25 bucks. As you explore 160 rooms, each done in high res. High res just means there's images on your Apple screen. You gather weapons and treasure that will prepare you for the final battle against the Tarturian. Tarturian? Tarturian? You'll encounter deadly Krolls, battle the Minotaur, and try to get by Count Snotweaker, decipher the yummy Yaki secret, make friends with the Thule Sweep, avoid ghouls, explore the Pillar Tombs, discover secret passages, and more. 5 interlocking programs. I really hope this is something like Black Sage. It sounds like it might be. And, oh, there we go. Just a reconstructed box. There is our disc, the Tarturian, by Highlands Computer Services. At least this example is. And then there's the example of the screenshot. Do we have a manual? No, we don't. No manual for Tarturian, so we'll be winging it. Here we go. This is Tarturian for the Apple II, released at some point in 1980. Yes, I do not know what will happen. This will be interesting. There we go, Tarturian. The first step is we loaded the computer program. If only everything could have, not cassettes. We don't want everything to have cassettes, no. If everything had carts or cartridges, that's the way to go. Hello, what is your name? Last person in the chat was Arcade Jeff, so we always do that on the channel. Whoever's the last person to say anything in the chat, they get to be the name. Is this an old or new game? New. We are not loading anything. This is brand new. Tarturian just was released. It just came out. We're the first ones to play it. I have no idea what we're getting into. On the Apple II, we've seen lots of different things as far as simulations. We've seen games go from action. I'm talking a scrolling shoot-'em-up game on the Apple II to text adventure games. There we go. You must choose a character to start. What character do you wish to change to? Oh, nice. So we got classes of characters. That's awesome. All right, so we got Cleric, Thief, Gladiator, Strongman, Magician, Elf, Wizard, or Mortician. It doesn't give me an option. So you only do 1 through 7. Let's go with Gladiator. Your journey will begin here. There is a passage down. Enter command. Open door. That is not within the gladiator's power. Oh no, we're a gladiator and we probably have rippling muscles, but we cannot open the door. It's not within our power. So can we go north? Choose another direction. Can we go south? No. Can we go east? Can we go west? We can't go in any direction. We're a gladiator with no direction whatsoever. Can we look? I don't understand, Arcade Jeff. Man, we are the worst gladiator ever. What about enter? I don't understand. What about forward? If it's a straight up text adventure game, then we're kind of stuck with whatever the text parser will understand for us. So yes, this is high-res graphics, and we have to know what the computer will accept. Because first of all, when I try to open door, it looks like it does know that, but apparently the gladiator, it's not within their power to open the door. What about get torch? I don't understand. Does it understand any verbs? It's usually a 2-word text parser. And sadly, without the manual, we don't know what commands to type, so we're kind of just going with the flow. So with anybody that bought this game at the time, you'd have all the information that you need to play the game. For anyone that picks this up later, like even a few years later, if you had just the disc and you pop this in and you get this to run for your Apple II, you still would be at a loss because you'd be in the same position we're in. You'd have to find the command or figure out what command the computer understands. Oh, there we go. Let's try that. Help. You don't understand. Okay, this game doesn't understand help or look. Man, and by the way, at this point in the text adventure games, or they now call these graphic adventure games, even though it's one picture, high resolution. The graphic adventure games, usually the text parser is very, very limited. And we haven't gotten to games that play this up unless they're straight up text, like Zork. Zork came out and it was a much better text parser and video game. So sadly for Tarturian, we can't get any further because we need to know what the command is to type on the screen. So sadly, we have to abandon. If a manual comes up, or if anyone knows how to play and type the commands for Tarturian, I'd love to know. In the meantime, we're just going to give that one our use for graphic adventure games for the times. We'll do 3 stars for Tarturian, which is average, perfectly average. Oh, we won't go into the basic, but yeah, good point. We could try. We haven't done it on the Apple II yet. All right, so after Tarturian, what is our next game? We got tennis. Oh, a handheld. This is the handheld tennis. Looks like it's by, can't tell, the Tomy. So this is one of the first releases we've seen by Tomy that does handhelds. Let's take a look at the artwork for tennis by Tomy, and that's it. There's a really zoomed in picture of the LCD for what you'd see on how to play. That's pretty cool. Nice view or shot there. Lots of different buttons on that, but that's all we got for artwork. Let's see if our handheld works. Does it run? Tennis by Tomy. It does. Oh my gosh, we have tennis. It's booting up. Yeah, this first release may be Japanese only. And let me take a look at the controls we have for this one. Oh my gosh. So it has for two people to play at the same time. So you get a handheld that you can work with two people together, which is a big plus. And then each person has 6 buttons they can use, which I'm checking out, making sure, because all these are mapped individually. But looks like we use 1 and 2, and then the W, E, R, ASD. Okay, so that's there. And then the other side is... Got it. Okay. Let's give it a shot. Here we go. So the other person... Nice. Okay, so you can see how this is a zoomed-in view of what you see for the tennis game. And I'm just starting with one side, playing as the first player. Cool. Okay, yeah, so you have to know which keys to hit, but you can see how the game would be played. Oh, I missed that one. But I'm having to play both at the same time is pretty difficult to do. But yeah, it's tennis. It's a handheld tennis game. First one we've seen on the channel, possibly the first handheld tennis game you could play. We played Mattel's handheld football and various other sports handheld, but for tennis, this is the very first in-your-hand tennis game you could play. And we're already, oh man, that was a good serve. I don't know how I did it though. So that was the game after 40 Love. So yeah, this is really cool. It is slightly different from what you would have seen in the palm of your hand because we're zooming it in so far, but you still got the idea. It looks cool to play, and you have 6 different buttons to say what kind of swing you want and where it's going to end up on the other side. So with all those options, you got a lot of different ways you can return the ball. And that's a good taste of tennis. Just straight tennis. By Tomy. Excellent handheld. So for the time, that's up there. Can't go as high as like a Milton Bradley Microvision, which has interchangeable cartridges that we've seen. It is better than a Game & Watch game, which we usually give those about 3 or 3.5. So yeah, I'm with you. This could be up there with, I'll do 4.5 for tennis. This is pretty good. Sadly, we wouldn't be able to play with another person because the way it's mapped. I guess we could remap it to play, but well, 4.5 stars. I'm definitely down with that for the first and a very good handheld that you could play in 1980. After that, what is our next game? Oh gosh, this is Terrorist for our Apple II. What is Terrorist? Are we playing as or against a terrorist? Let's take a look at the artwork for Terrorist. Looks like we just have a screenshot. Oh gosh, this might be a controversial release. We got this is by Stephen W. Peterson, 1980 by Edgeware Services, and yeah, so it looks like it is a video game where you're playing as a terrorist, possibly. All right, let's pop it in and see. No manual, so fingers crossed. Can we play Terrorist for our Apple II? Do we want to play Terrorist for our Apple II? Who programmed Terrorist in 1980? At that point, it must be Russians. Russians would be the terrorist. There you go, Edgeware. Unique software for the unique mind. We're all unique minds here on Chronologically Gaming. Edgeware presents. So, wait a second. If it's Edgeware, does this mean this is technically edutainment or educational? See, we got the terror alert system. Cool intro. Oh, wow. Yeah, it was like a volcano. Terrorist. If it's by Edgeware, is it an educational title? Or are we playing something where we're counter-terrorists and we're trying to not be the terrorist? Here we go. Terrorist game system. Set up a new game. play a game with existing inputs, read the score of the last game played, check condition, and exit. Okay, so let's set up game inputs and see. Oh, we design a terrorist cell? Oh my gosh. Hey kids, you want to play an educational title where you set up your own terrorist cell? Play Terrorist on the Apple II. All right, so let's set up game inputs. Let's see, does enter work on that one? This is great. This means for all the commands, maybe we get to say what we want the command to be instead of going by something else, possibly. I don't expect this to be a game programmed by the Apple to the Apple joystick. Oh, play with Apple paddles? What? Okay. Do you need instructions? Yeah, we do. This program generates data necessary to play a terrorist interaction scenario. It's essentially operated by the player who will assume the role of the terrorist. Yes, we are playing as the terrorist. Consult documentation if anything remains unclear. Great, we don't have documentation. I thought we were going to control the inputs and change them for what we wanted to, but nope. All right, so spacebar. First, societal characteristics. These are societal values against which all actions will be measured in scoring. Once generated, these cannot be changed except by restarting the entire game system. Okay, first, select the terrorist role you wish to assume. Descriptions are available from World Security. Your choice here will determine which of the scenario games will be played. If you wish a description of the choices, consult documentation. Again, we don't have the manual. We'll do our best. And after that, we do demand selection. Instructions for this are available by pressing escape when indicated. Okay. Finally, 3 pages of your final data are displayed. Study them carefully as this knowledge is one of your key weapons. Very interesting. All right, so societal authority characteristics. Priority, individual rights, group state rights, economic political stability. I feel like I'm not playing a game right now. Like we're actually reading stats from 1980. And here you go, spacebar to continue. Before proceeding, security must be established. Is this where we use the paddle controls? Clear the room of all outsiders or intruders. So here we go. Group selection. Do we want to be International Brotherhood for the Liberation, or IBL? Do we want to be National Fundamentalist Army, NFA, or the People's Lower Republic, PLR? And then we can get a description. Let's see, what's the description? What is IBL? Does it tell us about each one? So cool. It's like a secret agency report. Inquiry. Police information is in for dissemination of authorized world security agents. When you're ready to proceed, hit into key. We are International Brotherhood for the Liberation. They even have a dossier number. Nice. So which one do you choose? General aims, detailed, and security risk. Let's do, what is their aim? Left-wing utopian extremists. Stated main objective is total world disarmament. Okay, and then you can look at details, and so you can look at each one of these and then pick the one you want. We'll just do in this one. What's NFA? What are their motivations? At this point, there's manuals for these kind of games, and it's cool that it's all in the game that you can get the information you want. And it feels like we're hacking into a computer from 1980, like in an 80s movie. Okay, so general aims of NFA, National Fundamentalists. American right-wing fundamentalists operating in a worldwide environment desire shift from technological self-oriented society to fundamentalism. Fundamental strength, morality, justice, unity. Okay, and into that one. And then let's do PLR. What is PLR? Yeah, at the time, if I had this, I would be diving in to being a terrorist and what kind of terrorist I want. This is awesome. Okay, so general aims of the People's Lower Republic. Revolutionary regime from former Lower Democratic Federation. Revolution appears to be only central purpose. Sweet. Well, I know who I'm going to be. So who, okay, we don't want to read anymore. We want to pick one of them. So let's pick PLR. Terrorist Action Group, Lower Revolution Students, main political body PLR, and then action selection. So yeah, it's not a full-on text game, but we've seen other strategy games, construction management games, where they just give you options like a multiple choice. You select those options, make choices, and then you continue to play the game along this way. The very first game we saw that did this for the Apple II was Lemonade Stand, and then since then we've had more and more complex games come on the show. So this is, what options do we get to do as this terrorist? Do we want to hold the building and hostages? Do we want to hijack a plane and hold it? Do we want to build a nuclear device and use as blackmail? Wow. Oh yeah, we're gonna go big. We're gonna build a nuclear device and use it as blackmail. There we go. Build a nuclear device. Attributes now computing. We need military of 3, ammo supply, psychological stability, group stability, political support, in-action support, and covert skills with scientific skills. So that's what we need to have, it looks like. So, extradition of disposed load dictator. Put demand on hold, assign demand to that rank, discard demand, and then start over. Okay, so it's basically saying that we need certain attributes to be met first before we can build the nuclear device. And was that your Arcade Jeff? Was that your rating? You want to rate this a 9, 9 stars, or choose discard demand? Because it looks like when we're finished, we can get directions and make choices. But that's the whole game. It's just making different choices to play, which is a great way to play these games. Oh, gotcha. Okay, so let's do... let's assign it to that rank. So let's assign it to 2. Make military reparations of $10 billion. And then... Okay, yeah, so we'd have to discard because we don't have that... We can't make that option yet. And then we'll hit escape when we're finished. And then let's do... Yeah, we can edit the demand. So we'll do 2. And there you go. We'll do discard, 9. And start over or need directions. Let's do start over. Oh, 0. Okay, you have to select... Oh, you have to select 8 different ones that you'll seek to have satisfied during the interaction scenario. So you pick 8 different things of your demands, and then you rank them based on highest or lowest of what your demands are. The list shows your current demand list, and before you proceed, make certain that this list is to your liking. So you're basically saying, you know, I want $20 million, or I want a helicopter, or you make all the list of demands and then put it in a certain hierarchy for how you want it. This is so cool. Okay, so like usual, we only do a taste of these kind of games in 1980 because a majority of it we can just pick up and play them. This one you would spend a lot of time on playing. A really cool idea for this one. We're going to go ahead and stop it from here, but you kind of have the idea where you're playing as a terrorist and you're deciding which demands you want and what kind of motivation you want and how you want to make it happen. And then you play through your scenario, and whenever you finish, it gives you a rating on how well you did or how people responded to it. Okay, so that was pretty cool. Terrorist for the Apple II. I really don't want to go so high because, you know, playing as a terrorist is, I don't know if it's every kid's dream in 1980. But it is offering choices, which at this point, that'd be the better way to program these games. Instead of having to type the commands, just show them on the screen and then push a button. It works a lot better. So I'm going to go, I'm thinking 3.5 or 4 for the time. It is above average. It's a very good idea. The way it's presented isn't as good, so I'm going to go 3.5 stars for Terrorist. It's up there. It's above average, and it's a good game. So we'll do 3.5 stars for Terrorist. Pretty cool. So after that, what is our next game? We have Tranquillizer Gun. Cool, in the arcade. And this one I'm actually familiar with. It looks like the ZX Spectrum game, Tranquillizer Gun. Let's take a look at the artwork for Tranquillizer Gun. That is the Japanese flyer from Sega. And yeah, both of them are. And there's the example of the 2 cabinets. I wonder if this was the release we're going to play is the Sega version first. And for controls, we have 4-way joystick with fire. Arcade marquee, Tranquillizer Gun. Love it. Yeah, it looks just like the ZX Spectrum version I'm thinking of. Crazy to see these kinds of graphics in the arcade. Yeah, there's a couple screenshots for us. No manual on this one. Here we go. This is Tranquillizer Gun, released in the arcade at some point in 1980 by Sega. That's right, Service Games. There it is. They give us some really advanced artwork, not what you had around the arcade cabinet. It looks like this is just something they brought up. No, it is not. We're going to be killing a lot of animals. Trust me. So you can see on the attract mode, we have a... you know what? I wish we had the manual so they explain what they see, because there's other versions of this game where you're picking up animals, you're tranquilizing them and capturing them for a zoo. This is called Tranquillizer Gun. So you're going to be shooting the animal, sedating it, and then getting it back on your cart, trailer, whatever it is moving around the outside of the screen. And that's the whole point of the game. All right, so let's put a coin in and see what it's like. There's our 25 cents. And push and start. Let's go with Tranquillizer Gun. Come on, Sega. And there you go. So no sound yet, but the way it works, you can just get in your truck. You only can move one direction around. And you can see as you move, you have a shot. Get it. And then, can I carry? Yes. So you carry him back after you tranquilize him. And then you move yourself around, go find another animal. Or the animal kills you. It looks like the snake got me. And we did get a little bit of sound there, but I don't think I heard anything from the tranquilizer. Let's try that again. Oh, there we go. Yeah, okay, so we hear the shot of the tranquilizer. Oh, and something ambushed me. We're going out for some shooting. Well, tranquilizing the animals. Because we want to capture them, bring them back to the zoo. And they can pop out of the bushes. Boom, look at that. Lion almost got me. Got me last time. But knock him out and then carry him back. Cool idea of bringing the sprite with you. And then you get the points and you collect all the points for bringing him back. No! It's a four-way joystick, so as you round corners, it's not as tight as Pac-Man. But still pretty cool. Oh, game over already. So that was my first quarter in. No, it is a fixed screen, and this is what you see is what you get. All right, let's put a coin in again and push start. I could expect the maze to change, but you got to think at this time, we've seen Pac-Man. Pac-Man's the same maze over and over again. So for something to have multiple screens or change is a luxury. Gotcha. And the way it works is, see the score going down? The longer it takes you to get back to your truck, then the less points you're going to make. And so you have to decide how you want to, where you want to capture them to drag them back. Let's see if we can get this guy. Oh, the lion's got to be a lot of points. Yes, there we go. And then drag him back. Oh, and see, if they come out of the bushes, the way the movement works, it's a four-way joystick, so as soon as you commit to a certain block, you move in that space. So if they jump out at the last minute, then you're stuck. Cool idea, though. Haven't seen anything like this, but it is still a top-down maze game. And maybe I shouldn't say that, because top-down maze game is wave of the future. Some people would even call that a video game. Oh, the elephant. And you can see how they're popping out faster now. All right, let's move. Let's drive around. Get a little bit closer. There we go. Got him. The game's not really doing anything to push graphics, but to do this, to program this and allow you to move sprites and bring the character around, I can understand why there's a limited color palette, but yeah, if Jack Hanna was there tranquilizing animals and bringing them back. All right, now we're on a roll. What I'd love to know is, are there two joysticks in so we can have two players play at the same time? Go, go, go! Notice how the enemies just disappeared whenever I grabbed it? I think they were being nice. See if we can get another. Those lions keep popping in. Whoa! Got charged by the elephant. Almost. It's way more relaxing and fun than actually going to Africa and capturing animals. But now you know how hard it is, everybody. Gotta make sure they do not touch you. Once you get touched, then that's it. Oh yeah, snake is easy. Got him down. Cool. So it continues to go, and a really good question about the screen. I'm pretty sure this is it. There's only one screen that you can see. No! The points only get locked in when you bring them back to your trailer. Yeah, there he goes. And then there's no way to move on. You can just keep driving around if you want, like around the outside. So, oh, I wanted to see if I could smack into the elephant, and then it counts as getting the same points, but it looks like it does not. Okay, here we go. So let's try it again from down here. Give it another shot. Oh, look at him. He runs off. The elephant did get me. I'd love to know the artificial intelligence for this. We're well aware of Pac-Man and the different ghosts and how they move around, but how much AI is programmed in the animals for this game, for example? Like, how smart are they? You know, how do they move in and out of the level? There's a lot of nuance that we could dive into on the show for these video games, because there's a lot that's happening behind the scenes. I really applaud the developers for not just the creativity, but just to get this to function and to play on the arcade is remarkable. All right, so that was Tranquillizer Gun in the arcades. That one's a tricky one because it's not something like incredible. It's a single screen game. It is a great idea, and graphically and sound, it's not doing anything better than we see for the big hitters like Pac-Man. But for the way it plays and the concept's pretty cool. So it's not something that'd be average. It's not the usual video game we play. It's better, and I'm thinking either 3.5 or 4 stars because it's trying something new. It is still a top-down maze game, but other than that, it's not something that's going farther than that. It's refreshing to see something not a shooter, though. I'll go with 3.5 stars for Tranquillizer Gun. Yeah, okay, so I'm just checked chat. We're kind of in the same boat there. All right, so after Tranquillizer Gun, our next game is UniWar S. Going back to a shooter in the arcade, let's take a look at the artwork for UniWar S. The most exciting total universal war. Beware of the spy alien underground that can destroy the spaceship with its electric spear. The advertisement flyer does not have who it's by. Oh, there you go. It's IRIM. Someone changed it on the other one. So this is our second release we've seen on the show by IRIM. There's the example of the arcade cabinet. Stylish and cool artwork on the side. UniWar S. Very interesting name. Universal War. There's our control panel. We have left and right and fire, like any other shooter we played at the time. And our arcade marquee, yes, by IRIM, another very good publisher and developer that we'll see in the coming years. UniWar, yeah, it looks like UniWars. Wait, is it UniWar? No, it's UniWar S. Trying to make it as confusing as possible. UniWar S. Here's the manual for UniWar S by IRIM. Looks like we got an intro. First, you have to go through installation and location. Make sure you got all the parts for your arcade cabinet. Gameplay. How to play. The movement of the spaceship is controlled by this lever, and enemy attacks are shot by its firepower. When the space combat ends, ground combat starts after warp. Caution must be paid in moving your spaceship, as the spy alien underground can demolish your ship by firing its electronic spear. Only a direct hit on the lower part opening can destroy the rolling fire. When Killer King is exploded, the spy alien disappears. And there's our scoring system. Gotta know what the scores are. Cool pixel art. Very impressive for the time. And nothing else there. That's pretty much all we got. So we have a alien spear that's going to come at us, and that looks like it. So for different versions, we have Galaxy Empire, which is a bootleg, and then Ginkateka Koko no Yoshikushu, Kushu. 2 different bootlegs from Japan, and another one. So this one is, looks like one from IRIM that possibly has been brought to us. And by the way, anytime I'm reading Romanji, I have to say it in a samurai accent. It just comes out every single time. So just expect that for every Romanji reading. Here we go. This is UniWar S in the arcades by IRIM, released at some point in 1980. And there we go. Cool, we even got the scoring system right above my head up here. UniWar S. Yeah, it looks like also Karateko brought this to other regions besides Japan. Very cool attract mode, and it's the same star field. Galaxian, man, it's copied so much. That colorful star field. Let's put that in every game. What a great idea. What's really cool, though, is that ship over there looks like a really popular IRIM game, R-Type, which we're going to see much later, but it has vibes of R-Type over on the left side. So cool artwork. Attention. The Galaxy Empire strikes back. There's our point system. Yeah, again, the pixel art's pretty good for the time. That's awesome. All right, let's put a coin in and see what it's up. Push select. Bonus ship at 4,000 points. Okay, this is cool. This is like, this is a very smooth shooter. This is classy. Last IRIM title we played, not so much, but this one's pretty good. Yeah, it is 1980. The Empire Strikes Back was released, well, Star Wars Empire Strikes Back was released in 1980, so, yeah, we've already seen so many copies and knockoffs of Star Wars. It wouldn't surprise me. Let's warp to the next level. Okay, here we go. So we got different enemies now. Oh, man, crazy patterns on this. Looks like it's a bonus. Yeah, it looks like a shooting gallery or bonus area. I only have one shot I can shoot at a time. Which, no fault of its own. That's pretty much the shooters that we had in 1980. But, wow. Dodging the rain. Oh my goodness. There's only one ship left. Die. There we go. And moving on to new enemies. Yep, so point value increases. Enemies change. I'm wondering what the barrier at the bottom is. Or what that does. Oh, it looks like it's different enemies that keep flying down. Oh yeah, and they can shoot at me. So we're going to get attacked from the bottom. Is there any way? There's not. I just have to avoid them. Wow, yeah, so you have to look at the top and the bottom, because now the more enemies that get added to the bottom, then they're going to eventually shoot up at you. How many Eiffel Tower cannons have we seen on the show? At this point, this probably is, I'm going to say the 10th Eiffel Tower cannon. All right, put another coin in and push and start. They won't get the best of me. Oh, there's even names. They're so hard to see, but right above my head where it says the point value, it has the names of the ships. The spy alien is the one that lands at below us on the screen, but then looks like Rolling Fire is that a really difficult ship that I couldn't get last time. But play control feels really good. This is a top quality shooter. Here we go. Here we go. And we got the different waves of ships. Something, though, it isn't doing is changing the play mode. The shooters that have done that have been really impressive. It's still the same. I'm an Eiffel Tower cannon shooting enemies. Die. Okay, there we go. Now we move on to the next one. So down below, it looks like I don't have any. Oh, there, I got one. I don't think there's a way to get rid of those guys. All right, let's see if I can dodge them long enough. It's almost like they're just keeping you... You want to stay away from it at the bottom. Wow, yeah, they shoot up a spear. It's the spear they said in the manual. Those spies got us. All right, let's go one more shot with UniWar S. Quarter in and push and start. Here we go. Those classic sound effects are awesome. There we go. Warping to next area. So it looks like we've already seen every enemy that's shown on the point side. Now it just looks like I'm randomly shooting, but I guess that's what you do for most shooters. I'm not necessarily targeting these. I'm just trying to go for firing the shot and hoping it hits something. There we go. Okay, that's it. Now, I want to know how I avoid the spear. Okay, it looks like it might be random. And just don't be there when they have the spear up. Yeah, I can't tell if there is a pattern to the spears by the spy aliens at the bottom. But now we go on to the really hard ones. These are tricky because it's rotating around them. It looks like a shield, and you have to shoot right in between one of the gaps of the shield to make it work. Get your oh, the intergalactic spear got me. Always the intergalactic spear, man. Okay, here we go. I'm waiting for... I'm just gonna use, after they shoot the spear, then go for it. I mean, look at this. This is relentless. You have to hit it right in between that gap to make it go. Now, if I can just get him over to this side. Come on, let's go, let's go. I don't believe, oh my gosh, I don't believe this. It was so close. So, great challenge, excellent fun. This is a really well done shooter for 1980. And that was UniWar S. So, for the time, that is... above average. It's up here in the 3.5, 4 for sure. Yeah, I wouldn't go to anything pushing higher than that. So let's do, let's see, for the time, yeah, it's a 4. UniWar S is a 4-star game. Very good game. All right, so that is UniWar S. What would be our next game? Our next release is Video Pinball for our Atari 2600. This would be, oh man, the second pinball game we played on Atari 2600. Oh, and I know why. We played the release that was in another region for a different name. So it might be the same one we checked out on the 2600. So here's our artwork for Video Pinball. We got 4 different games on there. Tilt, bonus balls, Atari rollover, and then you can play 1 or 2 players. Yeah, 4 different games. That's pretty good. And there's our cartridge for Video Pinball. How do the physics work on Atari 2600? All right, let's see what the manual has for us. Looks like this is Video Pinball. Intro, object of the game, introduction. How many of you out there have always longed to be a pinball wizard? Have you longed to be a pinball wizard? It's a good bet that some of the places you have to go to play weren't the most comfortable. Well, relax. Since you were wise enough to invest in the Atari Video Pinball game program, you'll never have to worry about being at places with that kind of unsavory atmosphere again. Did they just insult the arcade? Did they just make fun of the arcade? Atari did? Video Pinball has the challenge and excitement of standard pinball games, and it doesn't have any idea what a quarter is. So not only are you spared the unpleasant task of stuffing quarters into hungry machines, you have the comfort and well-being in your home. What? Atari is the king of arcades, and this manual is making fun of the arcade. The coins and quarters is the point of how you get your money. Well, I guess Atari doesn't get the money. They're selling to the distributor. All right, so here we go. Object of the game is Video Pinball. We got Video Pinball. Controlled with the joystick. Interesting. So you got left and right flipper, and then both flippers. If you go up on the joystick, and then for console controls, we got difficulty switches on the console, and I think that's it. Yes, that's it for that one. And then special lit target. Here's what I want to see: game variations. Video Pinball has 4 exciting game variations. 2 games for 1 player, 2 games for 2 players. Game 1 is nudge the ball. If you lose the ball, you tilt. Extra ball's lost. And then Game 2 is a 2-player version of it. Game 3 is bumper values are not accumulated. Okay, so it's very simple. It means there's no other pinball board. It's the same one that we'll be playing on. All right, let's see what other versions. We have a European version and North American release. Here we go. Let's pop in Video Pinball for our Atari 2600, released at some point in 1980. Will it stack up to Activision? We'll find out now. Okay, so we're going to play game mode 1, and let's see, pull back and release. Yeah, there we go. So we got both paddles working right off the bat. Pretty cool physics, fast moving. That's awesome. And it looks like, yeah, we can use both at the same time if we want to. And my first flipper is already done. Give it another shot. So yeah, every game mode is probably going to use this same board or this same look. And it's pinball. Really good physics. Considering all other pinball games we play. Oh, what? That should have been on the paddle that time. So using one joystick where you have to use left to do the left one and then right to do the right one does feel a little off, but they do give you the option to do both at the same time if you pull up on the joystick. But just think about holding the Atari joystick and moving the whole joystick left and right to get your paddles to move. It also feels like my range of motion on the pedals is very limited. Like I'm really not doing too much to keep it from falling in. So I will give it to the Coco that even though the physics weren't there, having build your own, oh cool, having a build your own board is a plus. Because look at the board design. It's a box. It's not even feeding into the or one point at the bottom where the paddles are. And it almost went over to the other side again. All right, so we have a tilt. What was the tilt button? Oh. Oh, yeah, cool. So, yeah, still great physics. All right, let's check out game mode 3, because 2-player would be the other game mode. So here we go. We're going to check out game mode 3. This one looks, yes, same board, same physics. It looks like it just changed it's just changing the values of the different bumpers you hit. And it looks like we have the ball stuck on one of the wheels. What was my tilt again? Oh, that's so cool. Okay, so here's how tilt works. You hold down the button, and then while you're holding the button down, you're able to move the ball around. So I'm actually changing the way the ball the ball's moving while holding the button down. That's awesome. Yeah, the physics is on point. Oh, no way. Bounced right in the middle. Yeah, thanks for the feedback. That's true. Even though you could build your own on the Coco, yeah, I'm sure the saving and loading was long. Cartridge, man, that's the way to go. Fast loading. Because the experience of 1980 on the home computer, we're not gonna play that, waiting for cassette tapes to load. However, when we play on the home console, anything that's using cartridge, you're getting the same experience. You popped it in and played just like we did on the Atari. Or disc, that's true. Depending on what disc you're playing and what system you're playing on. Okay, so that's pretty good. That's fun. Just want to check the manual one more time before we quit this one because it was showing another game mode. I want to make sure we played that one. Scoring, the game variations. There we go. Okay, so turn last until the... Okay, so the other game mode we played there was no flippers. you held down the only button on the controller, and then you're just moving the ball around the screen. So it's like a different take on pinball. That's pretty cool. All right, so video pinball for the Atari 2600. That's excellent. That's something that would be around the range of what you'd see, but I don't want to say average. Yeah, this is pretty good physics compared to the other ones we've seen. And for Ataris, I'm very impressed. Yeah, so I'm thinking higher up because of how well it plays. We did play a handheld pinball on the Milton Bradley Microvision, which was pretty good. But this, well, I'm sorry, it was not good for like console, if you're going to compare it to console. So, yeah, I'm thinking this is a better experience for pinball and what you could play, especially with the 2 different game modes and then 2-player. So, yeah, it's up there. Can I go as high as 4.5? Like, is it going to be showcased on some of the best games you could be playing at the time in 1980? Considering we had Adventure on Atari and we had Space Invaders. Yeah, so this would be up there with the other releases. We'll go 4.5 stars for video pinball. That's pretty good. And it looks like one person in chat is with me on there. All right, so we're going to stop with video pinball, and we're doing in alphabetical order at this point. So we're in the V's, which means we are nearing the end of 1980. Please let me know if we have missed any games or need to showcase any games before we finish 1980. Until then, we will catch you next time. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single video game in order of release. We'll be streaming live every weekday at 9 p.m. Central, so join us and let us know if we missed any games along the way. This video would not be possible without RetroArch and Launchbox. Please tell your friends there's some crazy guy out there trying to play every single video game. You can always check out Chronologically Gaming on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. Chronologically Gaming is the name to look for. We will catch you next time.